horror movies, mutilation, decapitation, torture. Does that sound entertaining? More blood than a blood bank. Have we got your attention?
All right, guys, welcome back to Video Waste Reviews Movies. This past week, Jerry picked the houses that Cocktober built, and I just basically refused it, and so he gave in, and now we're doing People Under the Stairs. We're making good use of our Halloween time.
Who stole the show on this?
The dog.
I'll give that one a pass. Yeah,
the dog. I mean, the dog is great in this movie.
Yeah,
I mean, he's in 3/4 of the movie. He's a huge character, and I don't know who trained the dog. I don't know if it was just really good editing, but the dog made noises when it was supposed to. Like, he'd be running through the hall or through the walls, and he'd go, "Arr!"
Yeah,
it was just really good.
I read something on the internet. The redheaded lady.
The internet.
The internet, yeah.
What is that?
It's this fantastic thing. You should really try it out. But the redheaded lady in the movie, yes. She feeds the dog. She has a hand, and she's feeding it to the dog. Yeah. And
that was a real hand.
No, it was a prop hand, but the fucking prop master left a wire. And so she's feeding the dog the hand, and she looked down, and she saw the dog was starting to chew on the wire. And she reached in and she grabbed the wire from the dog. And everybody on set was freaking out because, dogs like that are very this is my food. This is not your food. Yeah. Don't you fuck with my food. And yeah, she just grabbed that wire out.
Good for her.
Yeah.
She's not a complete piece of shit like she is in the movie.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Well, anything else you got a stealing of the show?
I mean, pretty much everybody in here does an amazing job at their job. But no, I mean, I mean, everybody should be the show stealer in their own right. But the dog is just the most impressive thing to me.
All right, well, I'm going with one set design.
Yeah.
The two main houses that we see. That would be Fool's house and Mommy and Daddy's house. I think are designed very well.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna give a show stealer to probably just great villains. The Mommy and Daddy character are great. I love the idea of everything deals kind of with this idea that on the outside looks normal.
Yeah.
On the inside, fucking horrible, just crazy shit.
Yeah.
On the outside, Mommy and Daddy, they wear normal, sensible 1950s clothes. They look like, John Q. Citizen. On the inside, throws a gimp suit on for no reason. Yeah. There's no reason that he has to wear a gimp suit, but he wears the gimp suit. Never comes into play, never...
I did notice today, upon rewatching it as I drove here, like I normally do, she does tell him, like, when Fool jumps from the roof into the pond and then gets away, and he goes outside and he blasts the shotgun, she tells him to go upstairs and get in his suit.
Yeah.
So I think she makes him wear it. I don't know, but whatever. It's your normal healthy, mom, dad, brother, sister relationship.
Yeah, healthy sub-dom relationship. I'm also Ving Rhames, which I'm never going to get right because it just feels like I'm just throwing syllables together in my mouth.
Rain,
yeah. I think it is a pretty, even though he's got a small part, every line delivery on him, he is giving it as a fucking all.
Yeah. I agree.
And it's funny. This movie is pretty funny if you the delivery of lines.
Yeah.
I think everybody was on their fucking game, like you said. So.
Especially with where the dad stabs the dog and then he pulls the knife out of the wall and he's like, I got you. And he starts singing it out. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
He's he kind of sings a bunch of his things as he's yelling while he's hunting through the house.
Yeah. But, they're even going into the next where she's like, prove it. And he breaks the wall open and the dog falls out, and it's comically a stuffed animal head that kind of falls out and whatnot, and he's like, shit, I killed the dog or something. Like, I think he makes reference like that, but let's move on to our next show breaker. Anything break this movie for you?
Honestly, the only thing that just kind of broke the show for me was how the ending came about. Like, so Fool stuck in the house for the second time now because he went back to get the white girl, and
Alice.
The whole community comes to, like, I don't know. I don't know if that was a plan, or because it's never shown as a plan, but like, or they've just decided that they're going to, like, all right, this civil unrest is not okay anymore. Like, let's go take down the man. Cool, fine. But why didn't you do that before? Why didn't you do that before Vin Rain died? And Spider or Spencer or whatever that guy's name was. Like, all these people, like, you've been waiting years. Like, even Grandpa Booker told you that, like, we didn't even walk by that house as a kid.
Yeah.
That dude's like 80. So this has been happening for a long time. Like, why now?
Yeah.
So the way that happened, I wasn't too big of a fan of, but everything else was really good.
Yeah, I did laugh kind of when, like, it's like the community of the poor community comes out, and they're gonna stand up to it. But the second that house blows up and all the cash starts flowing out of that place, they're like, money! It's like we're on Price is Right or something. I'm gonna tell you the one thing that really broke me, and I'm not talking about, like, made this a horrible movie, because this isn't a horrible movie. This isn't a bad movie. It didn't ruin the movie for me. It just kind of broke my brain when they said that they got evicted with a 3-day notice. You have to evict someone in 30 days. They have 30 days to get their shit in line.
Dude, this was the early 90s, and this is a scumbag. No, see, by law, yes. But you can be evicted. I got evicted. Me and Kenny got evicted, and they were like, bye tomorrow.
Jeez, you should have sued.
Well, I
think
mean,
that law holds back from, like, the Middle Ages. Like, it's like 30 days until thou must be out of thy cottage.
Yeah. Okay.
I
think just slumlords play by their own rules, and they use, like, people don't know the laws. And there was no Google to be like, hey, fool, go Google how long we have to get out when we've been evicted. Like, so they just have to,
Also, did you notice anytime the sister talked in that apartment building, she was, like, dubbed very weirdly? Like, it just felt off.
I didn't notice.
Like a ventriloquist act. Like, I could see that.
She felt off. I didn't feel like she fit the family.
Yeah, I don't think... This goes back to the community coming out and stuff. I feel that kind of took away from Fool's victory over this thing in the house.
I mean, she was necessary because she caused a distraction. The community caused a distraction. So I understand it, but at the same time, none of that was coming.
No.
It came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then also, Fool has a little brother that you see for one quick second and never even spoke of again.
Yeah. But yeah, there's just moments like that where it's like, if I was kind of like rearranging or editing this movie, it's like this is more about Alice, especially Alice, and Fool. Yeah. Alice is overcoming these abusive, horrible parents in the house, and Fool finally just kind of saving Alice, kind of getting, because that's why he goes back in the first place. He told her, "I'm going to get you out of here."
He's overcoming in his own right as well.
Yeah, and like I like the Fool idea aspect of it. Yeah. So, but did it make the movie bad? No.
No, absolutely not. Nothing made this movie bad.
No. All right, next one, notable effects.
I mean, Roach's tongue looked pretty cool.
Yes.
And the makeup on all the people under the stairs, the other nameless ones, They all looked pretty good.
Yeah.
They did a good job with them.
I think
they all look like they were out of the Michael Jackson Thriller video.
I was thinking Guns N' Roses.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, that's so nice that Guns N' Roses got a part in this movie.
I like the way it ends with, like, that one just looking like...
Well, if you look
like, walks
closely
off.
in the background, all of them, you can see them.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think that's going to work out well for these
Yeah,
kids.
as soon as the sun comes out, you're going to die.
Yeah.
They literally are chuds.
Yeah. Literally. There were great costume and makeup effects.
Yeah.
I thought that was really well done. Nothing noted, like, it's more an editing of the violence.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
I did laugh at the prosthetic fake Vingreams.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get that name right. But it kind of looked weird. But pass. Is this the thing, you know, of like this marvelous looking, like, oh, that looks so real? No,
another thing
psychological.
that we have to, like, say about the effects is, you mentioned earlier, the house.
Yes.
The house with, like, the stairs that, like, turn into a slide.
Amazing.
Like, you know, just everything, like the or the acid drop hole in the basement, like everything.
Yeah.
The whole house design was an effect, and it worked extremely well.
Yeah.
All the little passages, the hall, you know, the walls, the space in between the walls. Wow, I got there. Don't worry.
Yeah, the crawls through the wall and stuff. It's all set design that's really nice. I wish they would have, like, had more booby traps through the house. Like, he's, you know...
But it's also not Home Alone.
Yeah, it's not. Even though it kind of turns into a little bit of Home Alone when he
I think
throws
this
the
came
brick.
out before Home Alone.
Yeah, maybe, like, you know, like, what do you want to go see? People Under the Stairs or Home Alone? But, yeah, it's not it's not well known for its, like, effects, but I don't think you need too many in there.
No. I think that the story and the dialogue is strong enough that, like, it's scary without all that.
Yeah, definitely. Going to Cinema Wow, what'd you think of the cinema photography?
I mean, there was no, like, amazing shots. There was, there was no amazing shots. It was straightforward, but it worked.
Yeah.
It did its job very well.
Yeah, simple shot, kind of, not flat, but just simple shots.
Yeah,
Nothing that needs to be, like, glorified and whatnot. So, all right, my favorite, quotable lines, because I got a fucking dictionary of them.
Yeah, I might just let you go to town on that, because there's so many good ones.
Yeah.
The one that, like, stuck out to me, just because it was so stupid, is when Van Rain goes, just because a man's laying face down on the floor don't mean he's dead.
Yeah.
Like, no, you look dead, bro. Your head was stuck in a vent and you were laying, like, lifeless on the ground.
Yeah, what were you doing?
But yeah, also, what were you doing?
You taking a nap?
Yeah, like, he walks over and goes, Van Rain, or whatever the character's name is.
Leon.
Yeah, Leroy.
Leroy, yeah.
Yeah, he's Leroy. And he doesn't move. It is not till he touches him does he go, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
What are you doing? You taking a nap on the job? Okay, for him, Leroy tells Fool, maybe the president's going to make me the secretary of pussy.
Yeah.
I forget how it starts, but I just like his delivery of that. Another one is where that he opens the door and then he looks back and says, I just busted this house's cherry.
Yeah.
Then we go to the daddy character. I like the I'm gonna kill you. Where Roach grabs him and he pulls him in and stuff, and he just looks through that hole in the wall and stuff, and he's, I'm gonna kill you. It's great line delivery. And then there's a part where before that, fool picks up a brick and smashes it over Daddy's head. And so he's busted up and he goes downstairs after that moment. And the wife says, "What happened to you?" And he's like, "Damn bear trooper." And I laughed. So, like, the line delivery of these actors are amazing.
Yeah. It's funny because it's like, it's such a good mix of like goofy 80s, but done so well that it missed its mark as the goofy B-rated movie and actually got upgraded to like, holy shit, this movie's really good.
Yeah.
Like they are delivering B-movie lines and the way they're delivering, but they're so good that like, and these actresses are so good that you can't help but go, God damn, that is good.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Like, another moment in the movie, it's not a line, but it's kind of like a physical comedy kind of deal that I kind of chuckled at, is the cops are going through the house. They've had a disturbance call, and they're going through the house, and the character of Daddy has a hat on, and they're sitting there talking, and he's smoking a pipe. I mean, he looks straight out of the 50s. And then he lifts up his hat, and there's blood like leaking down and stuff, and he's wiping his forehead, and he puts the hat back, and cops are just okay with it. But
well, no, it's funny because the cop is standing there, and he's like, "Yeah, you didn't get that furniture from Value City or whatever."
Yeah.
And as he turns to look, he lifts up his hat, wipes the blood, puts it down, and the cop turns back to talk to him.
Yeah.
So it's like perfect timing. Like, it was just good.
Good timing.
Yeah.
Let's go to the favorite scene, that one moment in the movie.
I mean, there's so many of them.
Yeah.
Man. I was trying to come up with a favorite scene, and I don't know. You go first. Let me ponder over these because there's quite a few.
I have two really like scenes that when I was watching it, I really like. One, I don't like it. It's a
you cringed at it.
Yeah, it's a horrible scene where this girl, the character Alice, gets thrown into a bathtub and it's scalding. Even though you can kind of see the scalding and it's coming in front of the bathtub instead of over the bathtub. But I usually when I watch this movie, I'm like, that's horrible. I mean, getting thrown into scalding hot water like that is fucked up. But this time I was watching it and I have a new appreciation for it because the actress who was playing Alice was 17 at the time. I looked it up. She's playing a 12-year-old in the movie, but she was 17 when she played the character. But the redheaded, the mommy character, the red hair woman, she throws her in the bathtub, and it's a white dress and stuff. And if you look closely, the mommy character, she's grabbing the dress and she's holding it for her out. So while they're taking it, it doesn't cling to her and stuff. She, because she didn't want the 17-year-old having like clingy white clothes on and stuff.
It was a good move.
And so she was looking out for her actor. And so the scene itself, without like thinking actors and whatnot, is really horrifying. But now looking at it as two actors performing and stuff, that woman was looking out for that kid that's young in the acting world.
Yeah, that's good.
However, in the next scene, I think was an accident. There's a moment where the mommy character, again, makes Alice go clean up blood. She's running down the stairs with Alice, and she goes to kind of like, just kind of toss her on the floor. But I think Alice got her foot wrong, and she hit the blood, and she hits hard on that floor. And it's real. It's not like a prop fall.
Yeah.
You can feel her, and then you see her in the next scene. She's like really crying. So I guess they didn't cut. They just edited it. And I was like, oh shit. Fucking, there was apologies probably given. But yeah, when she hits that, like, oh, that must have hurt like a motherfucker.
I noticed that. I was, I figured it was just like planned a part of the movie, like. But naturally, if you're coming with that kind of like centrifugal force down a set of stairs and then you hit a wet spot, and that is not just water, it's obviously some sort of oil base to hold the color.
Yeah.
You're going to slip.
Yeah.
Like, it's just natural. So, I mean, that's everybody's fault.
But, like, even with that, the reason I think it's more accident instead of, like, okay, she's going to push you down and then you're going to slip and stuff. I think in that case, you would naturally try to, like, slip and break your fall or protect yourself.
Well, see, that's why I thought it wasn't an accident.
Yeah.
Is because instinctively you try to break your fall.
Yeah.
She didn't try to break her fall. She just fell.
Okay.
Like, she just was like...
Yeah, but the way I think, like, she knew she had to, like, be, like, pushed down, like, ugh!
Yeah.
And then start cleaning up the blood. But I think when the actors were acting and stuff, she knew what she had to do. And she just put her foot wrong. And she went left when she should have went right. And that is what scene we got because she hit, like I said, fucking hard on that floor. She busted her ass, so...
Yeah, man, I don't know. The whole movie's great to me.
Yeah.
And I was listening to you the whole time, so I didn't think of a scene. So I guess I'm just going to go without one. I mean, from play to the end, like from start to finish, the whole movie's a great scene. So.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, there's... There's like moment after moment after moment of these scenes that are really good with great line delivery. So, soundtrack and score.
I don't remember.
They picked everything out of the book where it's like, okay, creepy piano. Okay, drums. Okay, the only thing that I could pick out is there's one scene where Fool is walking around like the city trying to get to Leroy and I forget the other guy in the van's name.
Spencer.
Yeah, and they're playing that 90s jazz and it's pretty funny. All right, meat and potatoes.
Oh, I think this is all meat.
This is all meat. This is a meaty movie.
Yeah.
Where there's not slow moments in this movie. You're not bored.
I mean, you know, in the beginning, it sets up the story, and it does it very quickly. Like the kid's just like the girl's like tarot cards. You're the fool. Okay, now we know his name.
Yeah.
Mama's sick. Okay, who are you?
Yeah.
I'm Leroy. Like, so, you know, it's just like within a minute and a half, you've already got everything you need to know, and then the next bit of potatoes to come is the community coming together at the house at the end. And then even that is just a very small serving to push the movie forward.
Yeah.
So this movie is all meat.
Yeah, definitely. The only thing that, like, it's called The People Under the Stairs, and the people under the stairs don't have, like, too many moments. They have an end moment, but, you know, I think this movie would have worked better with a different title. I think with a title of, like, Mommy and Daddy, or, you know, whatever, like, let's say they live on, like, 112 Cleverlang Drive.
Well, I think that Cleverlang Drive. I think that it works because that is the fear. That is the end result. You're going to end up like that's what he's fighting against initially, is becoming one of the people under the stairs.
Yeah.
So if he loses the battle, if he doesn't get out of the house, that's his future. And they keep them, you know, kind of off screen for the most part, except for the few times he ends up, one in the cellar and two near the cellar. It leaves a mystery of to what's really going on back there. Because, like, the girl says, like, oh, they've got food of some sort and light, flashlights, so I guess they're happy in their own right. Like, and then he literally goes, whatever, and, you know, goes to walk. So, like, I think that they did a good job of using that as, like the reveal at the end kind of deal, you know? So.
Yeah, I definitely, like... I get it. I just, like I said, the people under the stairs, I wish they had more of a presence. But it's meaty.
I mean, they do come out of the basement at the end and start fucking shit up. So.
I do like when they, like, they know, like, I guess Roach told him. It's cool. And they start calling his name and stuff,
Yeah.
and to represent them, with lights and the flashlights and stuff. That's pretty cool. So, did you get your money's worth?
Fuck yeah.
100% money's worth. I recommend, highly recommend.
Highly recommend.
Buy, purchase, whatever. Just
Yeah, I mean, I have this on VHS, and I would buy it on DVD if I saw it.
Yeah.
Like, I would buy this in every format that's possible.
I think you can purchase it through a Wes Craven set.
Huh?
I think you can purchase this through like they have Serpent and the Rainbow, The Shocker, this.
You mean on DVD?
Yeah.
I can just buy the DVD.
Wrap ups. You got anything that
I mean,
we didn't communicate and stuff?
Not that we didn't communicate. Again, just a really good movie.
Yeah.
The acting is so solid in it. It is 90s as fuck.
Yeah.
But the good 90s, not like the later 90s, like H2O and Resurrection and things like that. Like, this was when the 90s was like hitting hard with good horror, and
Yeah, you definitely have a atmosphere of where and when we are.
Yeah. This was
without showing cities and
exactly
outside. We're only worried about what happens in that house.
Yeah.
Not what happens around it. That's why we didn't see the liquor store robbery or anything that happens.
They did drop the M-bomb in this, and I didn't hear it the first time.
Yeah.
But the second time, I definitely heard it.
But it definitely,
it drives home who these people are.
Yeah,
So
it definitely
it was
shows,
divisive. It was useful.
it shows that these people are horrible. They're racist.
They want everybody to burn in hell.
But yeah, it definitely brings a tone of that. They're purchasing low income housing to put in.
Yeah.
Big buildings to bring them more profit, even though, like an asshole, he keeps all his money just kind of stored downstairs. I don't know.
In the cellar with
get
the
a
people.
bank.
See, the whole thing to me, okay, so two things. One, it makes a good social point because I, as a dumb white person, didn't realize that this was actually happening. So it took this and Candyman to make me go, look into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then go, holy shit, this is totally true. Like I mentioned in my review of Candyman, the new one, they really drove that point home in a conversation between, the man that ends up being Candyman and the white art dealer lady or newspaper lady. But so these movies, good fun horror, but also they're showing you something. They're showing you a part of society that is real and necessary. And I forgot my second point. So,
Okay. Yes, I definitely see that. I also think that there's another social point of child abuse and neglect in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Where they're because when I watched it, I was like, oh man, this is definitely bringing it home of abuse for a child, how a child would fear with domineering parents, and the Alice character definitely it brings that fear of what it must be like, even though they're technically not her parents, they are the parent figures.
Right.
That's why they're called mommy and daddy, even though they're brother and sister.
Yeah.
So I definitely, it's like a balance of this this commentary on these oppressive people to a community, but also oppressive people to children in the house.
Yeah.
Well,
not only that, in the movie, when he calls in the child abuse to the police or whatever, you hear them showing up to the house going, is this real? As if the big rich white family can't have child abuse because look how good they've got it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? They're showing that it comes in all forms. It's not just low-income families that are fall victim to it. It's
Yeah, and
it's everybody.
They put that outer layer on,
Yeah,
and they
exactly.
go, "Oh, we lost our child
Yeah,
long ago," and
Yeah.
stuff. And because
White people are shitty.
and these ones especially, uh, I definitely I was reading Wes Craven talking about this, and like this is why Wes Craven was a genius. He would read something, like and make a movie from that. So, like, for Hills Have Eyes, he read about a cannibal group in Scotland, the Shawnee Bean family, and then he created this whole Hills Have
World,
Eyes.
yeah.
He read about Vietnamese people that came over to America after the Vietnam War and were having night terrors, and this one kid died from it, and that's where he got Nightmare. This, he was reading about a burglar broke into a house and found out that the people were actually keeping kids underneath, like in a crawl space under where a closet was. He was doing the same thing, and that's where he got this. So this one's a little bit more accurate. You know, there's
this
not
one's a little bit more on par. Yeah. The second thing that I did remember is, okay, so these chuds, they're scared of him. They're scared of the dad character.
Yeah.
But also, he keeps his money in the cellar where they are. So he can't get to it because how? Because, given if he walked in there with no weapons, they would kill him.
Yeah.
The only reason they ever show any fear is because he has that shotgun. So why keep your... But then again, I guess if somebody broke into your house to steal it, that's probably the safest place.
Yeah, you see, lights, and, it scared, the one guy to death. That's all they say, He's whiter than he used to be kind of deal.
Yeah.
So, back to the child abuse thing, I also noticed that the mommy character was made to look like Joan Crawford from Mommy Dearest. Mm-hmm. And if you look at her, she's got the hair, really
prominent
eyebrows, and it looks like the Joan Crawford character. But yeah, I just noticed that. I was like, oh, I wonder if they paid homage to Joan Crawford because she was fucking asshole and stuff to her stepkids. I think this movie needs more love.
Yeah, and like I said, this year's the 20th or 25th anniversary math. But it's been talked about a lot. Mm-hmm. And that's what got me to finally go back, and Peacock dropping it.
Yeah.
Got me to go back and go, all right, I'm going to fucking watch this. And I think it needs to be talked about. It needs to be enjoyed. It needs to be watched. And people that aren't into horror, if they can watch it and see those aspects, the social aspects that we watch, then know that horror has always done this. It's always touched on subjects that are overlooked by mainstream media and more popular movies until now they're making more gritty real movies, but it's always touched on that, and this movie does a very good job of showing it to you, and you don't really even realize it, but the bathtub scene with the girl, cringy, dude. When you're watching, you're like, oh fuck,
that's horrifying.
And then the idea of them keeping these kids under the or these people under the stairs or whatever, and all those people under the stairs are not kids, they're older, they're late teens, early 20s, so they've been there for a while.
Yeah, Guns N' Roses.
Okay, but I think that it's important that this movie be talked about and be shown and make people see that it's not just a goofy early 90s horror movie. There's a point to this, and it says it very well.
But all right, stars.
5.
Yeah, 5. I'm going
There's
5.
there's no arguing that.
And it's not even like a nostalgia 5.
No,
I
just saw this for the first time a week ago. Like, I mean, I saw it when I was little, but I only saw like a little bit of it on TV.
I remember always hearing.
And I'm so glad that's the way this happened, because I wouldn't have got it and I would have discarded it or disregarded it. So I'm glad that I was like older, wiser, sat back and watched this movie so I could see all of it for everything.
Yeah, I think, definitely it deserves the 5. I think that more people should really appreciate this movie.